Okay. Hey, come on in. Tonight, I am giving you the lowdown, showdown, go down. Hey, what up, girl? Oh my God. Ma'am, you need to put me on your calendar. I'm trying to do Instagram Live with you. How are you, love? I hope you and your baby are recovering well. You guys are doing well. Yeah, so today we are going to talk, today we are going to talk book cover design. I have seen some beautiful book covers, and baby, I've seen some not so beautiful book covers, and we are going to keep it real because I want to respect my time. Y'all, it has been a crazy day. What the heck is going on? There's something going on in the air. I just got home maybe like 10 minutes ago from Walmart, and we're going to pray for some people tonight because, geez Louise, obvious distress. New moon in Gemini. Yeah, girl. I don't know. But this poor guy was in distress. He was in so much distress, and it was so sad. And so we ended up staying in Walmart longer than what I intended to until they got him under control. And so, anyways, you said the baby's tiring you out. Oh, my Lord. Bring him here. Bring him here. Okay, let's get into this book cover design. So yesterday, if you did not catch the replay yet, we were going over the interior of the book, and I think I did a really good job about it, and so let me know if you haven't had the chance to check it out. Otherwise, let's talk about the outside of your book, right? Retrograde ends June 2nd. Okay, maybe things will calm down. But so we were talking about the inside of your book. Let's talk about the outside. Something that I kept saying over and over and over again yesterday was good looking books sell, right? So not just the outside of your book, but also the inside of your book. But definitely the outside of your book needs to look good if hear me, if you want to sell past your friends and your family, right? And so if you're the type that's like, hey, Miss Wynn, I'm just doing a book, it's just for my friends and my family and stuff like that, then okay. But if you're like, I want this to sell, I want to maybe make some money, because listen, a lot of times self-published authors will have to pay for services. I hope this is not interrupting my live. 1 second. Okay, there we go. I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because, look, these people get real disrespectful with these daggone phone calls in the middle of my live. What the heck? How does my inside? Yours looks good. So yours looks good because I feel like you took some time to put it together, and we worked together on that, and so I know for sure that yours looks good. But have you had your book printed yet? That's the real test, is when you send it to the printer, like when you upload it to Amazon and you order that author copy after it's been published and look at it. Yeah, that's when you really can see. Like, it's one thing to see your book like on the computer digitally, and it's another to see it actually printed in your hand. And so I'm getting ahead of myself, but okay, so let's talk about front cover. And what I'm reading, I actually have a paper here in my hand. What I'm reading is from Independent Book Publishers Association. I am a member there, and they actually have an industry standard checklist for a professionally published book. I highly recommend everybody check that out. Listen, book publishing, it comes with standards, right? And I just feel like that's one of the things that sometimes self-publishers do not know, aren't aware of, or not sure of. And so that's why I'm committing myself to do these Instagram lives until I have nothing left to talk about. And you should know that your girl can talk. And I could come up with something to talk about anytime. And so we'll see if ever I'm speechless and I have nothing left to say about books. I don't know what to tell you. I don't foresee it, but you never know. You never know how things can go. And so I'm reading from this page here. And like I said, yesterday we already talked about the inside of the book. Today we're talking about the outside. Let's start with front covers. We're going to go over the front cover, we're going to go over the spine, and we're going to go over the back cover. So front cover. All text, especially title, subtitle, and author name, is legible on the print version and when cover is made into a digital thumbnail. So I've seen some books where you can't hardly read the author's name, you can't hardly read the title, and it's just like, why? Everything should be real big. Here's a self-published book. I actually sell this book a part of my bookstore. So I do have an online bookstore. It's WE Bookstore Online. Piper Punches. She actually, and I don't know, I should have. She actually redid her cover. And so this is her new cover. I wish I could show you her old one. Maybe after I save this live on my YouTube, maybe I will do like a side-by-side screen and show you what her old cover looked like. But when she said, Miss Wynn, I got a new book cover, I was a proud mama. I definitely was a proud mama because look at this. Look at how beautiful her cover is. So her name is in big font. Guess what the title of her book is? Murdered Lawyer. You can see it plain as day, right? And it says best-selling author of Missing Girl. So maybe, I don't know if you could see that pretty good. But the whole idea about it is you know what it is. You know what kind of book this is. You know what is going on here. And it even says a novel on the bottom. So these are some key things that you should have on your book. Now, granted, okay, each category, each genre comes with its own set of design. And so yesterday I said, do your homework, do your research, get on Amazon.com, go to the book section, type in a book that has that's similar to a book that you're writing or similar to one that you want to put out, and see how the cover is designed, and take note of the type of font that was used. Look at how big the font is. I bet you this is like 30 something. I don't know, this down here is probably like 45, 50 something. And it looks good and it looks great. And you can get this feeling of like mystery, and this cover is blue, and it just makes you want to read the book. And so that is what I'm talking about. And that's what this is talking about. This is part of the standard. Everything needs to be legible. Imagine that your book is in a bookstore on the shelf, right? And it's turned out this way. And a lot of times when I'm like in Barnes and Nobles or whatever, and I'm walking around, what stops my eye a lot of times is a big font, right? Because I'm like, oh, what does that say? Oh yeah, that says whatever, and I can read it pretty far. Y'all, so I actually should be wearing glasses, but I always lose them. So I just feel like my eyesight will get better somehow. I don't know. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to speak that into existence, right? And so I love it when I see self-publishing authors who have spent that time to like get to know what they should do with their book and their craft, and ask questions. Absolutely. So you said, how do I make my journal into a book like that? We definitely can talk, girl. I got some tips for you. We definitely can talk. It's just a matter of uploading it to a self-publishing platform. And KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, if you want something to do today, you can definitely go there and create an account with them, and go from there. But another thing is, right, so this book is about 400 pages. And so that's how she got this spine. So I'm going on and I'm talking about spines of books. Hey, Cleve, what's up, brother? And 400 pages. So, Miss Wynn, how many pages do I need to have a spine? It really depends on the size of your book. And so I believe that her book might be like a 5.5 by 8.5. I want to see if I can find another one to compare it to. I have books all by me. Oh, come on. Okay, this one. Oh, they're about the same. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, they're about the same. So this one here is another 400-page book. Well, no, this one looks a little bit bigger, actually. Anyways, you need to have a lot of pages in order to get a spine on your book. And so that's the next thing. What goes on the spine? Your title. You could put the subtitle on there, but for sure the title. You can put the author name and then even the publisher name and or logo. So that's supposed to go on the spine. But Miss Wynn, what if I don't have enough pages for a spine? Well, how much more can you write? No, actually, or how much more can you write, or can you downsize your book? I don't have my book near me that I wanted to show you, but there's a book that I have that's really small, and I feel like that they did that on purpose because there was not enough text in order to make the book thick enough to have a spine. And so why is a spine necessary? A spine can be necessary because it is a symbol of professionalism. A lot of times people will not purchase books from self-published authors because the design is not professional. It doesn't look like a book that meets industry standards. And so if you're like, dang, my book is really not selling, check some of these things. Check if it's your cover. Check if your book might be too small. What can you add to it? Can you add more value? How can you add more value to it? Maybe is there somewhere in the story that you didn't elaborate? Can you add more pages? Can you add more pages? Can you, can you make your book smaller? It doesn't have to be a 6x9, which is pretty standard. It can be a 5x8. And some people will say, well, that's kind of like a booklet. Okay, nobody really cares. Honestly, readers do not care. In fact, a smaller book, I want my book to be able to fit in my purse because a lot of times readers do traveling, right? They just do. And when you're traveling, you want to be able to have a book that can fit easily in your purse or your bag. Now, I would not take this book nowhere with me. It's just way too big. This would be a book that I would also purchase as an ebook, so that way I could put it on my Kindle tablet or whatever and take it with me. And so that's just another thing to think about, is does your book have enough pages so that it can have a spine? A spine is a stamp of professionalism. Okay, and then the back cover. What should go on the back cover? Okay, it's talking about pricing, but hang on, we will get there in a second. You're gonna want to have, so let me see, she has a little bit about her book on the back cover, so you want to at least have your synopsis. Maybe you could even include a short little about the author down there. And then she has the cover design information on the back cover, as well as who took her author photo. And she also has a review. So you want to think of your front cover and your back cover and your spine as marketing. All of this is a part of your marketing. A lot of times, and I said this yesterday, I said, a lot of times as authors, as writers, as creators, we are really talented in that field. But when it comes to like the business aspect of publishing a book, it can be a little tricky. Sometimes we just don't know what to do. And one way that we can think about it is just different hats. If you're already someone who's multifaceted, who has multiple areas that they enjoy doing, then you know that you have different hats that you wear. So not only am I a business owner, but I'm a mom. I'm an author myself. I like to paint. And so those are different hats that I wear, and I'm a businesswoman. And so it's like, okay, today I'm going to put on my writer's hat. In the morning, I put on my writer's hat. I do my writing, and then I take that hat off, and then I gotta study because I'm also in school. So then I'm gonna put my student hat on, and I'm gonna get my study on, and then by that time my kid's up, so now I gotta put this mama hat on. And so think of it as changing hats for the different things that you're doing. Yes, you are probably so talented as a writer. You're probably so talented as a creator, but I need you to put on your business hat as well and understand that not only is your story and it has a message to be amplified or it can be used in a great way, but it's also a product. It's also a product. It really is. And so products that look good, think about it. How many times have you purchased something, whether it be makeup or, I don't know, anything, just because it was aesthetically pleasing? How many times have you been to a restaurant just because it looked good on the outside, right? And so you're that way, so you can probably assume that your reader, whoever it is that you're trying to reach, would be that way as well. And so that's just something to think about. If you are interested in selling your book past your family and friends, that's something you can think about. If you're not interested in it, hey, cool, no problem. Do you, but if you are interested in expanding your reach, that's absolutely something to think about. How can I put on my business hat? What can I do? A lot of times entrepreneurs, they train, they spend some time. I spend about an hour a day researching online, Google, YouTube University, looking up stuff that I might not know, or even if I do know it, I'm still gonna look it up because I want to stay up to date on it. And so it's like we have to do the same things as independent authors, and as a person who owns an independent book publishing company, I gotta stay on top of my toes. What? Right? And it's not even about like being in competition with anybody. It's really me versus me. And I want to be better than I was this time last year. You know what I mean? And I know that I'm better than I was this time last year. But in a year from now, I want to be able to look back and say, that dang girl really win. She really was putting in the work. And I want to be proud of how far I've come. And I want the same for you too. And so that's why I'm saying, I think I'm going to continue to do these. I'm going to continue to jump on Instagram Live and just share with you my experience, share with you the things that I'm learning and finding out about book publishing, because maybe it could help someone take it to the next level, right? And so Friday, I will be doing an event here in Abilene, Texas, the city that I live in, and I will be meeting with writers and local authors, and we're going to be talking about leveling up. How do I level up as an authorpreneur? An authorpreneur is someone who not only is an author, but they're also an entrepreneur. And if you're an independent author, you are an authorpreneur. You're, like I said earlier, your book is your product. And so exchanging those hats, put that writer hat on right now, think later. You don't have to think about selling your book when you're writing it. When you're writing, you're writing. You're focused on your writing. When you're done writing, take off that writer's hat and put on that business hat. Businesswoman, businessman, business they, whatever, however you identify as, put that hat on and work on it and work on that. Work on your craft. One of the things about it is I recently had an author who was able to, she's an amazing writer. She was able to take off her writing hat, put on her business hat, created a whole business plan for her book, and was able to get some money from the bank through a personal loan to fund her next book. Come on, man. Come on. Like, we all could probably do that if we thought that way. And I'm someone who definitely believes that if you change your mind, you can change your life. Oh, here's the books that I was looking for. And so another thing that I do, because I wear different hats, is I create affirmational journals. I've created them for myself. So this one says what I just said. I changed because I changed my mind. And so I'm hoping that with the new information, new or old or a refresher information that I bring to you all every day around this time, that something better would happen for you, and only you can measure that, and only you can say, hey, this was really beneficial. Hey, this was really valuable, or not. Only you can really decide that. And that's the whole thing about leveling up, is you have to be honest about where you're at in your journey. And it's okay. This might be something that's totally new to you. Cool. Hey, let me show you my first book. Actually, I found it. So it says, Who Am I? How God Sees the Christian Single Mama. When I first started writing books, it was because I had a message to single moms who went to church. When I got pregnant with my daughter, I was met with church hurt, because not Jackie's daughter. She's not married and she's pregnant. What? It was a whole thing. Broke my heart. And I just thought, well, wow, that's weird. My pastor, his mom is a single mother. My pastor don't even got a daddy, and you guys are judging me. And so anyways, that's obviously still kind of a sore spot for me. But I wrote this because I felt like there were women who could identify with me, who could relate to me. So I wrote it. My intentions were good, right? My heart was in the right place. But baby, that work that I'm talking about doing, I didn't do it. I did not do it. I don't even think I had this book edited. I can literally open this book and find mistakes left and right. Although it looks good. Right? It looks all right. So this is one of the pages. You can't really. Right? It looks all right. But one of the things that I said yesterday, right? So the interior of your book, when you are... let's say if you're going to DIY your book and you're going to design the interior yourself, the text should be justified. And so I just told you that it looks good. Okay, I take that back. It does not look that great. This book would not meet industry standards. It is not justified. So your text should be justified. Although the margins look good, right? And so I hope that you do. So the website that I use to double check my books and those that I work with sometimes is ibpa-online.org. You can go to their site and they have what's called, again, the industry standard checklist for a professionally published book. If you are interested in selling books, your book needs to meet industry standards. A lot of indie authors are not aware that there's actually even standards out there. We've got to wake up. I'm giving you this information. Keep rocking with me, because we are all leveling up. Your girl is even leveling up. I'm working on some things behind the scenes. I'm doing that inner work, and it's been interesting. It's been an interesting journey thus far, but I'm so grateful for the growth. And this was something that I said even at the beginning of the year, was that I wanted us to grow together. Whoever you are, some of you, we have my IG connection, my IG love, and I adore it. I adore you. I think you're wonderful. Thank you so much for even interacting with me every now and then. I love that. And even if you haven't, let me know. Shoot me a DM and say, what's up? Let me get to know you. I would love to. And let's just keep rising. Let's keep rising to the occasion and learning and growing together. Because like I said, maybe this is your first year as a independent author. There's so much to learn, but it is so exciting, especially if you love it. And I love it. I love it so much. Every day I wake up and pray, God, this is all I want to do. I don't want to do nothing else. I don't want to do nothing else. This is it for me, right? And so that means that I have to stay sharp. I have to train. I have to look on the internet or wherever, get in these different associations, memberships, and make sure that I am staying sharp. And so that was one example. Let me bring it back. Let's bring it back to book covers. That was one example of one. And so this is a mystery book. Here goes an example of like a devotional. So this one says, Jesus and Women by Lifeway. And look at how big the text is, right? And so that's something that I always see indie authors do. It's like they're shy with the font size. Why? I don't understand it. And then they're super shy about like making their name big on the cover. Look at this author's name. Look, it almost goes across the whole book, right? Make your name bigger. And sometimes I think maybe, I don't know, and maybe I'm projecting, but maybe it's, we don't think that we're worthy. I don't know what it is, but make sure your name is big on the front cover. Make sure the title of your book is big on the front cover. And even the subtitle, down there is pretty big. And so these are just examples, right? And so even on the spine, this book is big enough to even have a spine. And this, I want to say, it's not quite the size of a piece of paper. It's probably like a 10x7 or a 7x9 size book, and it has 200 pages. And a devotional, I would say, is very similar to a journal. And so for my friends who are interested in writing a journal, I would consider doing it so that it's kind of big, so that way people can write in it. And this was something that I had went through with some girls from the church that I was going to at the time. And it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. It looks good. It was worth the $15. This is a cookbook. Again, it's, I want you to see these things that they all have in common. The font is big. You can see it. Another thing that I did not read on here that I had just seen was that the colors translate well to both print and digital. Right, and so none of these colors, nothing's really like bleeding in. Everything stands out. Even with Piper Punch's book, who's a self-published author, like everything, the text stands out. Nothing is blending in. Nothing is clashing. That's important to keep in mind. And so I hope this was helpful. I'm gonna jump off. I need to go make dinner. It has been a crazy day. I'm so ready for Saturday to be here. Anyways, if you are in Abilene, Texas, I invite you out. Meet me on Friday, June 3rd. I will be hosting what we're calling the Next Level Authorpreneurs event at my friend Jen's wonderful shop, Makers and Creators Marketplace. Come on out. I want to meet you. I want to know who the writers are locally. I have some ideas planned for us. I hope that we can meet more often. Otherwise, if you are not in Abilene, Texas, tune in with me again around this time tomorrow, probably 7:30. I tried to get on at 7 and I was still in Walmart. And so I don't know what tomorrow may hold. Let's shoot for 7:30. And I will make that update and I will make a post and let y'all know as soon as I get off of here. I see more people getting on, so I think that 7:30 will work. And so if you miss anything, I'm gonna share the replay on my YouTube, which you can click the link in the bio and head there now. Also, last thing before I go, if you are working on writing a book, so am I. I have about 3 or 4 books that I want to get done before the year is over. And so I'm doing what's called a Write Your Book in 30 Days. I actually have a plan that's also on my website, misswin.com. It's only $5, $4.99 actually. Get the plan. I'm going to be going through it. I mentioned it earlier today. You can watch the replay about that. We will be back on Thursday, Tuesdays and Thursdays for that. And let's write together. Let's get some books done. Let's get some words on the pages and tell these stories and make some money too in the process. But all right, I gotta go. My stomach is hurting. I'm hungry. All right, I will see you. I will see you tomorrow night. And what are we going to talk about tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, I think we should talk about this whole authorpreneur thing, right? I want you to know that you are more than just a writer, baby. You are an entrepreneur. You got a story to tell, and there's a way to reach the masses. All right, let's not get too deep into it tonight. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. I will see you same time, same place, 7:30 Central. Good night.